I made Germany unable to declare wars in Hearts of Iron 4. They can't attack Poland for Danzig, they can't attack the Benelux to get to France, they can't attack Russia for Barbarossa, they can't attack anyone. They will, however, be able to join wars if their allies call them in, and we're going to see how this rule change affects the campaign. If you want more HoI4 on the channel, make sure to like the video and share it with a friend who you think would also enjoy it. Well, howdy ho everybody, it is your favorite Hearts of Iron 4 YouTuber here, Chewbert. That's what I do Hearts of Iron 4 videos. Today we're going to be doing a fun one, and I think you're going to enjoy it. As I said in the intro, we are going to be playing with a mod that is going to change Hitler, and basically he's going to not be able to declare any wars, and if World War II is going to happen, it's not going to be at the hand of the Deutschlanders. Anyways, we're going to go with historical AI focuses and load on in. So we open up our console command and type in our Drew Durnal mode, hit enter, and just like that, we are observing. And from here, you guys know the drill. Speed 5, unpause. Now, aside from that rule change, there is nothing different about the game's code. Yes, I have some visual mods and whatnot, but the game's running exactly the same as it would if it was in vanilla. The Rhineland has been demilitarized, which is poetic because Germany itself is indeed demilitarized. Kind of, sort of. I mean, they still have their armies and whatnot, but they're not going to be able to use them. They can get involved in wars, but they cannot declare it themselves. And it looks like Sanjurjo over here hasn't crashed his plane or car or whatever yet. And we do have the Nationalist Uprising in Spain, and Germany decided to get involved. One way or another, there will be war. We've even got Rommel over here with a couple of truck regiments making it happen for Spain. December of 67, the Anschluss is underway. Funnily enough, they could say no, and Germany can't do anything about it, but I don't think the AI is going to calculate that. I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, they will accept. It's just a 100% thing. So they should be able to basically get all of this stuff all the way over to the Slovakia vassal, and then after that, there will be a bit of a hang-up because they won't be able to attack Poland, the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, go into France, so I don't know exactly how it's going to start off. I imagine that the way that the war will pop off is that Italy will attack Yugoslavia, and Yugoslavia will join the Allies, and that will call in Germany. But then I don't think the Netherlands or the Belgium or anything like that will get called in because they only join defensively. So realistically, there's nothing that's going to happen because they'll just sit on the Maginot and fight, and then the UK will probably continually naval invade like Schleswig or like Wilhelmshaven and just get their men killed. So it might be a bit of a standoff, but I'm curious. What do you guys think is going to happen? Leave it in the comments. How can you say that Austria is not Germany? It appears it is time to demand the Sudetenland, and it goes off without a hitch. The Germans of the Sudetenland have been reunited with the Reich, and the Oberschließen offensive does not need to happen today, at least. Meanwhile, Italy working through a couple of their focuses, quite a few of them actually. A lot of them are just 35-day focuses. They're already down to Man of Providence over here, so yeah, they are definitely working through theirs. And it looks like they're actually managing Ethiopia pretty good, all things considered. I've heard that managing Ethiopia is kind of a nightmare, so no idea how that works. I didn't mess with that mechanic much at all, so I don't know. We have researched the Big Bertha. And in April of 39, it is time for the fate of Czechoslovakia. Slovakia has been set up as a puppet, and the Bohemians and the Moravians have also been integrated into the Reich. They are currently working on the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. I don't know how that's actually going to work. I believe the way it will work is that the Soviets will invade Poland, capitulate them solo, maybe kick off World War II, hard to say, and then they'll just give Germany the provinces that they normally would have because of the way that the pact works. It just kind of cedes the appropriate provinces to each other. Two things, Italy has joined the Axis, and it is time for Danziger War, at least in about 2.5 months. I'm curious what's going to happen here. I have a feeling it's going to be nothing, but only time will tell exactly how things unfold. Danziger War has finished, and you can see here the world tension has spiked an extra 5%. Because of Germany, up to a total of 27.4. But yeah, obviously the polls said no, and Germany will do nothing. They'll do nothing. So now we kind of sit and wait and just see what happens. But then again, that is just, you know, kind of my brand, right? Apparently we're going around the Maginot now as well, but yep. I don't think they'll be doing that either. Meanwhile, Japan is absolutely thrashing China. Just one massive front line moving through, and they're probably going to capitulate them pretty quickly, honestly. Apparently, it's also time for war with France, but yeah, all that does is just increase world tensions. So maybe now we'll start seeing people fabricating claims or whatever, doing some wacky stuff just because world tension is going to allow these smaller nations to start doing something. It does look like this is actually how it's going to go. The Soviets have decided to justify a war goal against Poland. So I imagine when they attack them, Poland will join the Allies, though I don't know how that's going to pull in the Germans. Generally, I have an idea of what's going to happen, but I actually have no idea this time around. Nothing surprising here. Time for the Soviets to go have bunches of men get sniped off in the woods over here by Viipuri. Right, so this is one of those dumb things where Italy stays at war with Ethiopia because they didn't annex them fast enough or something like that. Because we joined their faction and all that stuff, and now everybody's at war with Ethiopia, who doesn't exist. Also, why in the heck does Germany have this Welga state? I have no idea. So Germany is technically at war with a capitulated Ethiopia, but other people could join, but they're not. Interesting. So this is something from By Blood alone, and I don't really know how this dynamic will work out. At the same time, in a little under 20 days, the Soviets will be able to attack the Poles, and that is when I'm assuming some real war was going to kick off. It always pains me to see this border war. I know that that's like, a thing. Transylvania used to be Hungarian or whatever. But man, the border gore, look at this. Poor Romania just getting poked here. Soviets have the war goal. They haven't declared the war yet, but I imagine they will soon. If they don't, they'll lose the war goal after, I think, 2 months. So there you go. Soviet Union has declared war on Poland, putting the Soviets at war with the Allies. Germany likes the Soviets, but they are not involved in the war. So I'm not really sure how this is going to work out. I think they're going to be like a big phony war after they capitulate Poland, but yeah, not so sure. And they'll probably overrun them pretty quickly. Though if the Allies can pump some men over here into Poland, they might be able to push them back, but hard to say. Yo, what? Looks like they're actually getting pushed back quite a bit over here. Look at this Minsk front over here. Kaunas is about to get taken by the Poles as well? What is going on? Russia attacked Poland and is getting beat up on. And you can see the French and the British troops coming in through Danzig and Gdynia. So, yeah, I don't think the Russians are going to win this, actually. This is too funny. Also, considering the combined air force of the Allies, it's probably going to go pretty good for them, though it looks like they've got quite a bit of red air right now. The losses for Poland are pretty gnarly and probably not sustainable in the long term. Well, sadly, it looks like the tables have been turned, though there's some naval invasions going on various places. The Russians have gathered their men on the front lines, and it looks like they're pushing Poland back now. Minsk has been retaken. Kaunas is going to be retaken in short order. The Russians are all the way up to Brest-Litovsk, so it's probably not going to be a win for them, sadly. I actually thought it would be super funny to see like a mega Poland here, but yeah, doesn't look like that's going to happen this time around. Oh, the poor Poles just got a massive encirclement down here, so oh, yikes. That's painful to see. This is a massive amount of casualties. And somehow, some way, the Germans did find a way to get to war, and they're actually at war with the Benelux as well. The Albanian British War. Leave it to Albania. So the Germans are at war with basically everybody, minus Belgium and Yugoslavia, and everyone else is in their faction. They can't declare war on Belgium to get through, so no Schlieffen Plan this time around. And they can try, but they're not going to get through this Maginot. These are level 10 forts, which cause a very, very, very big penalty to attacking into them. But yeah, 2 directions. The Poles definitely cannot do anything about that. F for Poland, boys. F for Poland. If they can't get through the Maginot, it seems that going through Savoy or Savoie, or however it's pronounced down here, may actually be the move. You can see that they are bringing some of their men over into this area, but these mountains are still going to be hard to push through. The final holdout here for Poland, Gdansk, beloved Danzig, will fall to the Axis. And now we have some hilarious border gore where there's an exclave of the Soviet Union within Poland over here, and an exclave of the German Reich within Poland over here. So that's a thing. And as far as down in the south, there is definitely progress being made by the Italians as well as the Germans in southern France. Oh yeah, Paris is about to fall, and France is done for. Now that is the type of border gore that I am here for. So where we're at now, Germany will not be able to do Barbarossa. They will not be able to attack the Soviets. So it looks like they're actually going to be in a more advantageous position whenever it comes to, Normandy or the naval invasions once the US decides to join. So to be honest with you, there might be a huge standoff. And this may actually even be the final borders that we're going to see, because I don't imagine the Soviets attacking the Germans. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. For some reason, the Italians gave up a very large portion of the land in France that they controlled, and we now do have a Vichy under Philippe Pétain. So you gotta be careful with his last name. As far as I know, his last name is very close to a swear word. I don't know exactly the pronunciation different. I may have actually even said it for all I know, but yeah, I don't know. My French is not good. Well, it looks like it's time for war with the USSR, but, you know, I don't think Barbarossa is going to happen this time around, at least not the way that the Germans would expect it to happen. And it appears it is time. Free France has called the United States as our enemy in the Japanese-French War because Japan attacked the Philippines, and now the United States is at war with a bunch of people over here as well as over here. Sturmgewehr 44. I don't know how do you say 44 in German? I actually don't know. I'm not exactly sure how this happened, but it looks like Slovakia is actually a Hungarian subject. Greater Hungary, to be exact. And meanwhile, we've got the Iranian Communist Authority, a puppet of the Soviet Union, based Soliman Mirza. And considering how well Japan was doing in 39, we're midway through 41, and they've definitely stalled out. They've made like zero progress in the last year and a half. It appears that we have an Operation Husky in the south here, but boy, these guys are getting absolutely dogpiled on. Will they be able to fill in? Hard to say. If they could link up these lads down here, they may have a chance, but no, I don't know. We'll see. Probably not going to work out for them. Though on the flip side, it does appear that Britain has landed some men in Athens and has retaken a decent chunk of Greek clay. But my, oh my, the Germans are crushing the Brits over here, about to wipe out a very large portion of them and American men over in Jordan. Oh, yikes. That is a big encirclement. Look at all those helmets falling. Yikes. So all in all, the Allies have taken absolutely massive losses compared to the Axis, but look at Italy taking 1.4 million losses just from the UK alone. That is crazy, actually. Compared to the Germans, 871 total, yeah, doesn't look too bad. The UK has already lost 1.2 million, which is insane to think about. The US has lost 811, and they've only been in the war for like less than a year, so geez. And it looks like Husky is about to be a failure. They are losing a ton more men over here, just in the toe of Sicily. So, yeah, these guys are not going to be surviving either. These losses are only going to keep going up as they lose men in these encirclements. It is funny to see Belgium here, just timid. Don't move. Don't move. They won't know we're here. Germany has war goals on them, but of course they cannot take them. They're guaranteed by France and the United Kingdom, so clearly they would join the Allies if they were attacked. It looks like they're just not going to get attacked. Same with little Luxembourg over here as well. They're in the same situation. England is landing a lot of men in Italy, and they are all getting wiped out. Every single one of them. The United Kingdom has lost 1.45 million men. Actually insane. But somehow, since I last looked like just a few months ago, Germany has lost like an extra 500,000 men because, you know, reasons, I guess. Wait a minute, what? Romania has declared war on the Soviet Union, which puts the Soviets at war with Germans in Italy as well? Okay, I don't know why they did that. That must be a focus, I assume? Well, either way, Barbarossa happening about 2 years late in this timeline. Let's see how it goes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Germans have inflicted massive casualties on the Soviets. Meanwhile, the Soviets are inflicting about half as many casualties on the Germans. So it appears that this war being pushed back may have actually been a good thing for the Germans. Soviets have 73,000 guns, and meanwhile, the Germans have about 30. And remember, they're losing about half as many, so roughly the same when you think about it. Well, as time goes on, it looks like Germany is definitely pushing back the Russians. Moscow has fallen, and yeah, they're pushed into the Urals now. Stalingrad has fallen as well. Another funny thing that I keep seeing is that Italy and Germany keep trading back and forth these provinces here in France. Paris has traded hands like 5 times. They just can't decide who is going to administer France. You can see that Italy has obviously taken over most of it this time. I don't know, stupid, but I think it's hilarious. My goodness, those losses for the US are insane. To be honest with you, the losses in general are insane. We've got 20,000 from the Allies, 11.5 from the US alone, 7.5 of which are just Japan. That is a decent trade. 2.3 for 7.4, 10 million between the two of them each other. Oh my gosh, I'm in awe. The Raj has already lost 1 million. I say already, it's 1951. Just waiting to see if, you know, anything is going to happen. The game's been running for about 4 years, and literally borders have not changed at all. Just a bunch of people dying, I guess. Of course, Germany rolled over Russia, and they even created a little German-Russia puppet over here. That's pretty funny. And they annexed a bunch of Iran as well, but then they left a little bit of them as well for a little bit of extra border gore for you. Sea Lion happened, and the Germans took the south, and then Italy took the north. And apparently, Nationalist Spain took a little bit of Ireland. I didn't even know they were in the war, but there you go. Also, all of France has been given over to Italy, and it looks like Switzerland has been attacked. And apparently Portugal, because Italy decided they wanted that ass.
And even after 11 million manpower losses, they're barely in the negative for guns. And they do still have a bit of manpower, but yeah, not much. So I guess we just let it run a little bit longer and see how things end up. It is November of 1964, and I think this is about where we're going to call it today. India has become Japan. Everything over here looks roughly the same, except for the fact that Germany is at war with Turkey, and it looks like they're probably going to win. Italy ousted Mussolini and formed their own faction, the Imperium Romanum. The Roman Empire looks a little different in this timeline. We also have the African Union over here, and the Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere obviously is thriving. The Allies is made up of the US, Canada, Mexico, and then Australia over here, who has been fighting these guys and standing still for like 20 years now. They have made like zero progress. It's kind of crazy. There are not armies over here to stop them, but they will not move because their supply is so low. But there are some crazy numbers to be seen over here, including all the miners. The Axis has lost 12.2 million men, with the Allies losing 43, almost 44. Actually insane. The US alone has lost 15.5 million brave souls. The Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere has lost 10 million on their own as well. And the Italians and their faction have lost almost 9. Total losses on this side, 31 million men. And over here, almost 44. The funny thing is that despite Germany and their allies and whatnot fielding over 42 million manpower, versus this side fielding almost 2.8 million, they can't do anything because they don't have naval dominance. So it's just a standoff, and it has been for about 20 years now. So, peaceful Germany, secretly OP? Might have been the move. They capitulated Russia pretty easy. We had a successful Barbarossa, which I don't think I have ever seen the AI do when it's not buffed. And with Japan on their side, they absolutely dominated the United States on the war front just without actually taking over anything. What the heck happened to Colombia? Brazil and Ecuador split it up? I do know that they were at war. I saw Italy over here at some point, but I didn't think too much of it. Funnily enough, Panama actually took back the Panama Canal from the US because they're at war with them. Moderately hilarious. Meanwhile, we have Nationalist Spain down here in the south of Australia. Don't know how, but that's pretty good as well. So yeah, it appears that this is another game where it's kind of limited by the ability of the AI to naval invade, and they're not capable of doing it over the ocean, so the US is just safe once again. But either way, guys, if you enjoyed this and you want to see some more Hearts of Iron, leave a like on the video and leave a comment down below of a suggestion that you might have for some good content. I'm always happy to take suggestions. If you want to subscribe and if you ding the bell, you'll get notified whenever I upload new videos, which is coming out multiple, up to 3 times a week now that I've got some awesome guys on the editing team. If you want to join my Discord, my subreddit, my Twitter, those things are all linked in the description below the video. And if you want early access to these videos, you can support me for as little as $5 a month on Patreon. But that is all I've got for you for today. Until next time, stay chill.